Now, first of all, what is a triplet? Any three numbers together is called a triplet. Together, taken together is called a triplet, right? Any two numbers taken together is called a doublet, right? So this is called a triplet, three numbers. Now, what is the Pythagorean triplet? What's so special about Pythagorean triplets? Any three numbers A, B, C, where C square is equal to A square plus B square is called Pythagorean triplet. Okay. Examples of Pythagorean triplets. First example, see 3, 4, 5 is a Pythagorean triplet. Why is it a Pythagorean triplet? As you see, this is your C. 5 square can be written as sum of 3 square and 4 square, right? Similarly, 6, 8, 10 is a Pythagorean triplet. As 10 square is equal to 6 square plus 8 square, right? Similarly, you can have uh, 12, 5 and 13 as a Pythagorean triplet. Is a Pythagorean triplet. As you can check, the 13 square, which is 169, is equal to 144 plus 25. That is 12 square plus 5 square. Okay, you can very easily check. Also, you can have 24, 10, 26 as a Pythagorean triplet. As you see that 26 square can be written as a sum of 24 square and 10 square, right? So all these can be written as, all these are examples of Pythagorean triplet. There can be many, many Pythagorean triplets, but 4 examples I have given you. It is better if you remember these 4 Pythagorean triplets because we'll need them in future. Okay. Now, notice what I have done in this Pythagorean. Notice that in the third number in this triplet is the highest number. If you see here, third number that I have written here, these are all highest numbers, right? And these two are you can write these two numbers in any order. 3, 4, 5 you can also write as 4, 3, 5. No problem. But 5 must appear at the end. Okay. 8, 6, 8 and 10 you can write as 8, 6 and 10. But 10 must appear at the end always. 12, 5 and 13 can be written as 5, 12 and 13. Similarly, this can be written as 10, 24 and 26. No problem. But remember 26, the highest number has to be written at the end. Okay. This is the way of writing Pythagorean triplets. Now, very important here that any Pythagorean triplet will always be of the form. This is, you can consider this to be a formula for Pythagorean triplets. Any Pythagorean triplet will always be of the form 2m, m square minus 1, and m square plus 1, where m is a positive integer or a natural number, you can say. Where m is a positive integer. Okay. So remember this, any Pythagorean triplet will be of the form 2m, m square minus 1, m square plus 1. Now remember, you can write any of the two first here. You can write m square minus 1 first, then 2m, but m square plus 1 will always be the highest number. So note here that m square plus 1 is the highest, or is the greatest among between the two numbers 2m and m square minus 1. So whatever is 2m, whatever is m square minus 1, m square plus 1 always has to be the greatest number of the two. Okay. Let us see one problem here based on Pythagorean triplets. Any question till this part?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
See, the question here is find a Pythagorean triplet whose smallest number is 8. Okay. Now, what kind of Pythagorean triplets you want to find? You want to find a Pythagorean triplet whose smallest number is 8. Smallest number is 8 means 8 can be here, and you can have two other numbers. Or what can be the form? You can have the first number as something, you can have 8, and then you can have this, right? Because you cannot have 8 here. 8 cannot be here. 8 cannot be here because 8 is the smallest number, right? This place is occupied by the highest number, isn't it? So therefore, this
Yes.
cannot be here. 8 cannot be here. So 8 can either be here or 8 can be here. Now, if 8 is here or here, what is the Pythagorean triplet of the form? The form of the Pythagorean triplet is 2m minus 1, 2m and m square minus 1 and m square plus 1, right? So 8 can either be equal to 2m or 8 can be equal to m square minus 1, isn't it? But 8 cannot be equal to m square plus 1, right? So there will be two cases. That is why I've taken two cases. Case 1, when let us say the first case, when this is the case, when 2m is equal to 8. So here 2m is equal to 8 means what is the value of m? M is equal to 8 by 2. That means m is equal to 4, isn't it? So from here, once we have got 2m is equal to 8, what are the other values? What is m square minus 1? Therefore, m square minus 1, if you put m is equal to 4, because we have already got the value from the first 2m is equal to 8, you put, how much do you get? 4 square minus 1. So you get 16 minus 1. So you get 15. Okay, so this number, if I have taken this number to be 8, this number turns out to be 15. And what is this number? M square plus 1. 4 square plus 1. 16 plus 1 is equal to 17. This number turns out to be 17. So what is the triplet in this case? The Pythagorean triplet is, in this case, the Pythagorean triplet in this case is, what is the first number here we have taken? 8. What is the next number we have got with that value of m? 15. And what is the highest number that we have got in the triplet? 17. So in this case, the triplet is 8, 15 and 17, right? So the point here is that although we have got 8, 15 and 17, Okay. Um, yes. And if you see in this case, we have 8 as the smallest number in the triplet, right? 8 as the smallest number in this triplet. Now see what would have been the case if 8 were equal to this m square minus 1. Let's consider the next case. Actually, this should be our answer. Okay. Case 2. Let us consider this case also. When this time, what we'll do is we'll consider, suppose this number is 8, right? So when m square minus 1 is equal to 8. So here what happens? You get m square minus 1 is equal to 8, means m square is equal to 8 plus 1. That means m square is equal to 9. That means m must be equal to the square root of 9. We take the positive square root, we don't take the plus minus sign. We take the positive square root because m is a positive integer. So that means m here must be equal to 3, right? So once you have got the value of m, that is by taking m square minus 1 is equal to 8, what should be 2m? Therefore 2m is equal to 2 into 3, which is equal to 6. So that means this number we are getting as 6. Now what is this number? M square plus 1? M square plus 1
10.
is equal to, yes, 3 square plus 1, which is equal to 9 plus 1, which is equal to 10. Right? So you're getting this number as 10. So therefore, what is the triplet in this case? The Pythagorean triplet in this case is um, what is the number that I take? M square minus 1 I had taken as it. What is 2m? 2m, the first number here is 6. Next number, m square minus 1. I have taken this number as 8. So 8. And the third number is 10. So which should be our answer? Should I accept the second answer? Is 8 the smallest number in the triplet here? But 8
No, sir.
is not the smallest number in the triplet. In case 2, is not the smallest number in the triplet. Therefore, what happens? Therefore, we reject case 2. We reject case 2. The required Pythagorean triplet is as obtained in case 1.
Sir, we have to check by both.
Hmm?
Sir, we have to check by doing both one.
I can't hear you properly. Speak louder.
Sir,
Hmm.
sir, when we'll do this, we'll check with both the case.
Yes, ideally you should be checking both the cases. If because you can, if you have done case 1 first, then you have got the answer. Okay, you don't need to do case 2. But if you don't get the answer, then you will have to do case 2. Ideally, you should be doing both the cases.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so this in case 1 was the required triplet. Let us see another example. Question here is find a Pythagorean triplet whose one number is 12. One number is 12 means there are three numbers in the triplet. One number is 12 means either of the three can be 12, right? So that means you have three numbers in the triplet. So either this can be 12 or this can be 12, or you can have the highest number as 12, right? Either of the cases. So here we'll consider three cases. case 1, case 2, case 3. Here there are 3 cases. In this case, what should be in case 1? Which one should be 12? 2m. In the second case, which one should be 12? M square minus 1. And in the third case, which one should be our 12? M square plus 1. Isn't it? So we consider 3 cases. Case 1. When 2m is equal to 12. Right? Because any Pythagorean triplet is of the form, let's first write the, before taking case 1, let's first write the formula for triplet. Any Pythagorean triplet is of the form 2m, m square minus 1, m square plus 1. Right? So case 1. That is, we consider this number to be 12. First one. Okay, 2m. So when 2m is equal to 12. So we have 2m equal to 12. That means m must be equal to 12 by 2. That means m must be equal to 6. Right? So therefore, once we have got the value of m, let us see what number is this. M square minus 1 is equal to 6 square minus 1. Which is equal to 35. Next, what is the next number here? M square plus 1. M square plus 1 is equal to 6 square plus 1, which is equal to 37. So here the triplet, Pythagorean triplet in this case is the Pythagorean triplet in this case is 2m. What is the value of 2m here? 12. M square minus 1. What is the value of m square minus 1? 35. What is the value of m square plus 1? 37. So we're getting this triplet when 2m is equal to 12. Let us consider the next case. This time we'll consider, say, m square is minus 1 is equal to 12. What if this equal to 12? Case 2. When m square minus 1 is equal to 12. So here m square minus 1 equal to 12 means m square is equal to 12 plus 1. That means m square is equal to 13. That means m must be equal to square root of 13. Right? Which is not acceptable, which is not possible, because m is a natural number or m is a positive integer, which is not possible, as m is a positive integer. Fine. So this case is not possible. We'll not get any triplet in this case. Let's see case 3. When, in this case, now we consider, let us say this number, m square plus 1 to be 12. Then what will happen? M square plus 1 is equal to 12. So we have in this case m square plus 1 equal to 12 means m square is equal to 12 minus 1. That means m square is equal to 11. That means m must be equal to square root of 11, which is again not possible, right? As m is a positive integer. Therefore, what is the only answer that we are getting? Hence, the required Pythagorean triplet is as we have obtained in case 1. Hence, the required Pythagorean triplet is, what is the triplet we have got here? In the first case, this one, 12, 35, 37. Clear? Or any question?
No, sir.
Okay. So we proceed with some assignment question that I have given you. Okay. Let me just very quickly solve these. Question here is question number 1. Show that the following numbers are perfect squares. Okay. So how will you show? 3025. How will you show that it is a perfect square? You will prime factorize first. 1, 1. And you will prime factorize in fair, not in rough. Okay. 3025, you prime factorize. Is it divisible by 3? No. You cannot divide this by 3. It is divisible by 5. We start with 5. 6, 0, 5. Again by 5. 1, 2, 1. And now you get what? This is divisible by 11. Okay. 11. I'll be doing divisibility tests. Okay. From there, you can very easily find out which number is divisible by which number. Okay. So, but for the time being, you just need to try. We have done 5. Next, you try 6. Next, you try 7. Next, you try 8. Next, you try 9, 10. And then finally 11 you will try. You will get this. Okay. So therefore, what are you getting here? 3025. Are we getting product of primes? 5 is a prime. Here is one pair. 11 is prime. Here is one pair. 5 into 5 into 11 into 11. That is 3025 can be expressed
Square of 55.
as a product of equal primes, as a product of pairs of equal primes.
Sir, can't we write as 55 square?
Yes, I will come to that a little later. You can write, but not at this stage. Hence, 3025 is a perfect square. Okay. Fine. I leave the second one for you to do, 7784. I'm sure you can complete on your own. Okay. We move on to the next problem.
Yes.
Next question is express the following as a sum of two consecutive integers. 2, 1. 33 square. What are the two consecutive integers for 33 square? Can 33 square be expressed as two consecutive integers? 33 is what? How do you express this as two consecutive integers? 33 square minus 1 divided by 2 will give you how much? Square 33. Just by the technique I told you. 3 square is 6. Now multiply both these numbers, 3 and 3, to get 9. Right? Double 9 to get 18. And 1 is carry. Again, now you need to square this number, 3 square. 3 square plus carry 1 will give you 10. So 1086. Okay. So this will be your square of 33 minus, oh, this is 9, not 6. Okay. So this is 9. And 1089 minus 1 divided by 2. You get 1088 divided by 2, which you get as 544. Right. And also 33 square plus 1 divided by 2. How much do I get? 1089 plus 1 divided by 2. 1090 divided by 2, which is 5, 4, 5. So therefore 33 square.
Sir,
Yes.
can you please explain me one number two?
Again, I cannot hear you. Louder.
Sir, one number two.
1 part 2. We have,
Yes,
you can do it on prime factorize. That's all.
okay.
I've shown you so many examples. I'm sure you can do this on your own. 1784. Okay, so this is 33 square. Here is now can be expressed as 544 plus 545. And that's your answer. You have expressed 33 square as a sum of two consecutive integers. Now you can do 47 square on your own, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
Next, we move on to 3 part 1. Find a Pythagorean triplet whose one number is, case 1, here you have 15. Any Pythagorean triplet is of the form 2m, m square minus 1, m square plus 1, right? Whose one number is 15. That means either this can be 15 or this can be 15 or this can be 15. That means I will get three cases, right? So let's consider three cases. Case 1, when 2m is equal to 15. So we have 2m is equal to 15 means m is equal to 15 by 2. Is it possible?
No, sir.
Which not possible because m is a positive integer. As m is a positive integer. Right? Case 2. What is the next case? Next case is when m square minus 1 is equal to 15. When m square minus 1 is equal to 15. So we have m square minus, m square minus 1 is equal to 15. Minus 1 is equal to 15. That means m square is equal to 15 plus 1. That means m square is equal to 16. That means m is equal to square root of 16, which is equal to 4, right? So therefore we have got the value of m. From here
Yes, sir.
we have considered this as 15. So what should be 2m here?
Sir, we don't have to do m square plus 1.
Yes, we will do that. 2m here is 2 into 4, which is equal to 8. And what is m square plus 1? M square plus 1 is 4 square plus 1, which is equal to 16 plus 1
17.
equal to 17, right? So therefore, what is the triplet here? The Pythagorean triplet in this case is,
Sir, 8, 15, 17.
yes, in this case is 8, 15 and 17, right? So this case we are getting a triplet. Case 3, when this time let us consider which one?
I have one
M
doubt.
square plus 1.
In
Yes.
case two, I have one doubt. Sir,
I,
in case two,
hmm,
I have one doubt.
Tell me.
From where did the 4 square come from?
4 square.
4 square. Yes, sir.
What is the value of m that we have got here?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So now next we consider this case when m square plus 1 is equal to 15. When this is equal to 15, then what happens? When m square plus 1 is equal to 15. So we have m square
Sir,
plus 1. Yes.
sir, Sir, we have got the answer. So why we will do case 3?
Because you can get another triplet here. Who knows?
Okay. Sir, if we get a triplet, a more triplet here, so we will write both as answer.
Yes. M is equal to square root 14. Okay. So which is not possible because M is a positive integer. Which is not possible as M is a positive integer. Hence, what is the required triplet here?
Sir, 8, 15, 17.
Yes. Required triplet is 8, 15, 17. That is the only triplet you are getting. Okay. So that is what I am sure you can do 63 on your own in an exactly similar manner. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'll stop here.